What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be doing a walkthrough of my entire collection. And this is a much requested video. I know you guys been asking this a lot, and I really just haven't had the time to get to it, but now is the time, and I'll be showing off each and every shelf, all my toy lines. It's quite a bit, and I'm really happy with how this room came out. This is my whole nerd collection right here. You know, everything from comics to video games to obviously action figures, dioramas. We're going to be checking out all of it. So we're going to be starting over here in that corner, and we're going to make our way to the right all the way until we get to the entire room. So let's get right into it. Alright, so first off, we're starting with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. The now canceled Power Rangers Lightning Collection. A lot of people complained about this line, and a lot of people were just dogging on it, and now we have that incredibly crappy, what is it, Playmates line? Which I just cannot stand. And oh my god, I can make a whole video about that and those crappy looking figures, but I'll keep it short here. But this is Power Rangers Lightning Collection. I love these figures. I loved it. I wish they would have finished a lot of these teams that we had. You see we have the Time Force right there, and then we had, what is it, Wild Force, and then we had back there Turbo. We never got those teams completed. That's annoying to me. That's very annoying. So yeah. And then down here you get the villains. They did such a great line. They did such a great job with this line. God, I wish they'd bring it back. And then up top here you get the helmets. This is that one is from the Legacy collection, that Green Ranger. These 4 are from the Lightning collection. Up top there you have the Lightning collection swords, weapons for the Power Rangers. They did not do a Black Ranger helmet or a Yellow Ranger helmet, which really annoys me as well, because it's like you can't even complete the team with the helmets. The weapons, same thing. I think they had the Blue Ranger's lance and the Yellow Ranger's daggers, but they never did the power bow or the power axe. And same thing for the Green Ranger. They never did a Green Ranger helmet in the Lightning collection. That is the Legacy collection helmet. So over here we got some Legacy collection Megazords, and then you get the Zord Ascension Megazords. You got the Ninja Megazord, White Tiger Zord. Very cool stuff here. Alright. Yeah, I really like these. And that's the Legacy Megazord and the Legacy Dragon Zord combined into the I want to say, what is it, Dragon Megazord or Mega Dragon Zord, something like that. I love that combination. That was rarely used in the show. These guys up here, Zord Ascension, Zord Ascension. This is the Legacy. That is Legacy, I believe. I think that's Legacy. I want to say Legacy as well. These two, the Dragon, or not, the Ninja Megazord and the White Tiger Zord. Alright, so let's take a look now. Let's get into the Marvel Legends. We'll start down here with the Army Builders. Then you got the Hellfire Club guards. This is kind of like I want to say like Kingpin's guards. That's what I made. It's just a bunch of paladins with different heads. You got the Ultrons back there. You got the Hydra. And then you got AIM. Over here you got the Super Skrull and his scrolls. You got Hand Ninjas. You got Kingpin. And you got a robber from, what do you call it? He's not technically a robber. He's I forget what they're called, but Hawkeye show. I know that. And I tried to put like Red Skull over there with the head of the Hydra. I put, what's her name? Super Skrull and Skrull Queen, I think, or something like that, or Queen, whatever. But I try to put like the head of the leaders of the teams here. You got AIM, Scientist Supreme. Kingpin is with his guards. Hellfire Club couldn't really fit the Sebastian Shaw and all those guys, but that's the army builders. Moving on to the really cool shelf. I love this one. That's the HasLab Giant Man. Really, really love that one. It's an awesome figure. And this is like a kind of like a newer versions of Avengers. So you have them in their like kind of modern day suits. I know a lot of these guys are missing modern day suits, but again, I really love that Giant Man. I love that Marvel Select Hulk. That is, oh my God, is one of the best Hulks ever. Then moving down here, these are like kind of like different random teams. So you got the Fantastic Four back there. You got the Dark Avengers. You got the Illuminati over here. That's kind of like a different, I don't know, like a different take on the Avengers back there with the Grey Hulk and Thor. So yeah, these are just different teams randomly put together, champions and stuff. Down here, kind of similar. You get kind of like a New Avengers / Mighty Avengers. And you got the Defenders, the newer Defenders, I should say. Spidey with his black suit is when he was with the New Avengers after Captain America died and all that. And they were on the run. Registration Act and all that. This is kind of like Thunderbolts. And you got the Inhumans. I don't know, it's a random Jean Grey figure right there from the X-Men line way back in 2000. I've been collecting since, well, I've been collecting since probably like, I want to say 2000, early 2000s, but I really started hardcore collecting in like 2013. And that's when Marvel Legends, really started to get good at their figures and stuff. So up top here, this is more like a classic / first appearance shelf. You see like Fantastic Four, that's like kind of with their original uniforms, and the Avengers, this is their old school style type. I know the gray Black Widow is not exactly first appearance or classic, but I had nowhere to put her, so I just threw her in there. You know, first appearance Spidey, you got West Coast Avengers. That Hulk, which they need to redo, is from like the Avengers 1 or whatever. You know, Iron Man. I love that. Captain America. That's from the Gamerverse. Very cool stuff. Spidey and his amazing friends. Yeah, this is like kind of like a classic shelf. Down here is the MCU. This is kind of like a Endgame shelf, kind of, with the Defenders and Wolverine and Spidey. So back there you got like the first Avengers movie. Guys back there. Then over here you got when they're in Endgame, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man's back there. Giant Man, I should say. Back there's Thor. That's kind of like Age of Ultron. Defenders, just because they were in that era, kind of before Endgame. You know, of course, you got Wolverine, who technically was Wolverine and Toby Spidey. Now they are, at least. Down here, this is more like the MCU version, MCU as it is now. Newer heroes, you know, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, Moon Knight's back there, Khonshu, got the Fantastic Four, Shang-Chi. Couple of Eternals. Yeah. So that's like the new MCU heroes. And down here is the MCU villains. Evil Doctor Strange, Searcher, Thanos, Red Skull, Loki. Again, this is MCU villains. Very cool. Down here is like regular comic villains. Big villains, I should say. This is like the big, like if you notice, a lot of these are really beefy, big figures. I have a separate shelf for other villains that are a lot like, you know, your basic height and bucks, but these are like the big guys. The Build-A-Figures, the Chunkies, the you know, you got Stiltman over there. And as I said before, this is Marvel comic villains. Dormammu's over there hiding. Let's go back up top here. This is the start of my X-Men. This I'd like to think of as like a 90s X-Men shelf, you know, kind of like Jim Lee era. So you got Excalibur, you got, what is it, Generation X, obviously the X-Men back in the 90s, Team X Factor, and of course X-Force. Hope they remake that Archangel, by the way, in the style of the X-Force one that they recently came out with last year. You got that cool Psylocke. Love that Psylocke. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shells right here. I love the 90s X-Men. Down here is kind of like 80s slash X-Men 97. You got the X team with all their blue and yellow suits, even though Cyclops, Cyclops Rogue and Jean Grey are not a part of them. Cable back there, Professor X. You got Alpha Flight. These guys should be in probably should be in the 90s. I don't know why I put them there, but that's like the Starjammers. And of course you get the X-Men 97. Storm looking angry. Same as Magneto over there. I can't focus. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, that Colossus is awesome. That is a Marvel Select Colossus, by the way, in case you were wondering. That's why he looks so big. But I really hope they do a Marvel Legends figure like that with him without his suit up the upper half. That looks really cool. And then of course you get the giant size X-Men. So yeah, it's kind of like an 80s shelf slash animated series slash X-Men 97. All right, the next one, another X-Men shelf. This is kind of like, so I put Age of Apocalypse. X-Force, Uncanny X-Force. I know it's not exactly accurate because there's members added to it, like Colossus over there, but I just kind of like threw them in all in their gray suits. So I really like that. So then you got Astonishing X-Men, Kazar, which I wished we had. What's her name, Shayna, that they put as an exclusive that they should not have. It's another story for another day. Yeah, this is just kind of like a random X-Men team shelf thrown together. Down here, you got even more X-Men. Again, this is kind of like, okay, so I did like them in their newer version, kind of newer versions of X-Men. Then you got the Winter Guard over there. Juggernaut Unmasked. Got the New Mutants, which I probably should put in the 80. No, I don't know, man. This is like a original X Factor team right there. Wish we would have a Beast in human form. Yeah, this is kind of like a random X-Men shelf, just thrown all together. And down here was the villains I showed off previously. And starting up here is all the Spider-Verse figures. Spider-Man, Masked Spider-Man. I have an unmasked shelf, you'll see a little bit later. Yeah, some of these figures are pretty old. Spider-Punk looks really cool over there. his Bagman. It's a bunch of Spidey suits from different eras. I recently reviewed Nightcrawler over here as Spider-Man, Uncanny Spider-Man. Here's that, what do you call it? Ultimate, I forgot the name of that line of Marvel Legends. Yeah, some of these need bad updates. Yeah, they need updated badly. But yeah, that's the Spider-Verse shelf. And then you got more Spidey figures here. This is like a animated series line. Again, that Sandman is technically not animated series. I know. But he's in the retro packages, so I threw him out. I just threw him in there, whatever. It's like... And then over here is kind of like a Sinister Six. I need to fix this. Back there is the Ultimate Six, kind of. Not really. But just Ultimate Villains, I should say. Something I really hope they do in the Marvel Legends. I hope they remake these guys. The Ultimate Marvel Villains. Technically, those are not... Some, like that Rhino right there, that's not a Marvel Legends. That's just a style of Marvel Legend, but it was like a Spider-Man collection back in the early 2000s. Yeah, there's Aunt May looking like she's adoring J. Jonah Jameson. I don't know what happened there. Some of these guys have some funny poses automatically, falling down and stuff. But yeah, that's next Spidey shelf. And this one is like Spider-Man villains. There's like all the symbiotes. Down here is the X-Men villains. There's that big, beefy Juggernaut. I love that figure. Brotherhood of Mutants. That's Soren. That's the Build-A-Figure from way back. That's not the newest one from the 3-pack. That should not have been an exclusive, but... Hellfire Club back there. Yep, that's the X-Men villains. Down here, more X-Men villains. These are like the Sentinels. There's a Marvel Select Apocalypse, which kind of looks like what's coming out for the made-to-order Marvel Legends one. Kind of looks similar, but we'll see how big that guy is. Just kind of random villains that I couldn't fit on this shelf. Yeah, Mojo and his Spiral. Deathbird. This guy, he came with the morph. What's his name? Gyrig or something? I just put him on the Professor X body. Yeah, that's all the X-Men villains. Alright, going back up here. We have kind of like a Iron Man MCU / SHIELD / I don't know, army builder random. So this is, all the SHIELD members, SHIELD troops. I wonder if Marvel Legends team ever gonna bring back the army builders. Kind of really just stopped doing that. Remember those army builders a couple years ago in those packs that were a little bit cheaper. This is like a random Black Widow team. I don't know. I forget what those guys are called. Black Panther guards or something. Black Widow's team, kind of. Those are the good hand ninjas. Over here you got the MCU Iron Man collection of armors. I do have regular comic armors. You saw probably if you saw one of my reels with the Hall of Armor. That's coming up, don't worry. Up top here, yeah, that's a really cool playset from the X-Men line way back in 2000. Picked that up on eBay. I had to, man. I love that. I might put that over here with the Spider-Man. I don't know, still deciding. Here you got Days of Futures Past. I love this. I'm gonna make a diorama for that. Over here is gonna be like where I put the Sentinels too. So that's down right now, but that's where they would usually go. The recently X-Men 97 made to order and the HasLab. Over here you got Spidey from the old 2000 something line. Forget to show this off over the top here. These are all my like collectibles. Some Marvel Legends, some not. This is like a random like piggy bank. I forget where I got that from. That's of course the Marvel Legends Infinity Gauntlet, the Cube, the Doctor Strange's eye. I don't know why they didn't continue with the old like Infinity Stones thing. Back there, the Nano Gauntlet, Daredevil's mask that's missing a eye. Magneto's helmet, Thor hammer, that's not Marvel Legends. That is Marvel Legends Iron Man helmet, the shield back there. That is plastic, by the way, it's not metal. Anyways, continuing on with Marvel Legends. Back here we got the unmasked Spidey Spider-Verse. That spider, I wish they would remake that Spider Girl right over there. Wish they'd remake her. That is a G.I. Joe Scarlet movie head on top of that body, in case you're wondering. G.I. Joe collection. The G.I. Joe, what do you call it? Classified. Yeah, so this is kind of like an unmasked Spidey shelf. Mysterio, I don't know why he's there. Beat up Spidey. Down here, this is again another like this is kind of like a paranormal slash Black Suns slash, I don't know, different versions of different characters. Yeah. The vampires. Got the new Emperor Doom here. Black Panther on a throne. That is actually a DC Multiverse McFarlane throne from, I think, Black Adam. In case you were wondering, unmasked heroes right there. Shuri, which is actually, what's her name? Nakia, I think. Yeah, this is kind of like a random shelf. Down here is like the cosmic shelf. Not really a fan of these characters, to be honest with you. Maybe Thor, but there's the Heralds of Galactus. Not really into Cosmic Marvel, to be honest with you. I sold a couple guys off. Down here, it's just a random. This is just random. Don't even ask, man. Don't even ask. These are just like random figures I use for like bystanders and stuff like that. You see, I have like suits and stuff like that. But this is like customs too. I'm trying to make, but yeah, I know they have all the heads off and stuff. Wrestling figures, just stuff, random crap. Yeah. So like back here, I forgot to show you. This is like, if you've been collecting Marvel Legends for a while, you're gonna have a ton of these heads. These are just random heads from different alternate heads, you know, heads from figures and stuff like that. You get weapons and stuff like that down here. These are heads from different various figure lines like NECA and stuff, Black Series, whatever. Same for this is like the female heads. That's a lot, man. Oh my god. These are like hands and stuff. So it's like these MCU heads, robes, and then the weapons. So yeah, that's down here. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I cannot stand putting figures down here on these bottom shelves. Like, is anybody else like that? Like, I just cannot stand. I wish I didn't have to do that, but to save space, you know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Moving on over here. This is Fallout bobbleheads from a couple of years ago. I don't know, 5-6 years ago actually. It's 7 of 9 up there. Up here is the Master Sword, by the way. That is a real sword, yes. Back in the shelves. Again, random, kind of like playset things. Yeah, I love that Doctor Doom throne. That came with a Marvel Select Doctor Doom from years ago, in case you're wondering. This is the few Marvel Select figures I have. I don't have many as I used to. I sold them off. I'm not really a fan of some of them, but they're really old, outdated molds, so. That's a Marvel Legends 10-inch, 12-inch line way back. Yes, they did have Marvel Legends 10, 12-inch figures. This is a tank from, I don't even know. I bought it from Amazon. It's actually a cryo chamber. I don't believe they're even have any more in stock, or they're just out of print. They're not manufacturing them anymore or something. But it's just like a one of those random like toy companies. It's not even a toy company. I don't know. It's like a model or something. But that's that. If in case you're wondering, of course you got Kang in his throne. Marvel Select Black Cat. This shelf is just empty. This is a new shelf I just worked on. It's kind of just random, new like kind of newer Avengers. And then you got the World War II heroes / invaders. Down here, again, another random shelf. This is a work in progress. It's like kind of like a Hulk shelf / Gamerverse. I don't know why she's here, but and her too. Random McFarlane, Catwoman. Again, work in progress, but this is like another random shelf. You got NECA RoboCop with ED209, Ed209. That's a forgot what line that was. The Headless Horseman. Oh, I forgot what line that was. Jazzwares, Universal Monsters. A NECA, Necron. Not NECA, sorry. DC Multiverse, McFarlane. This is NECA, the Halloween 3 guys. And it's kind of like a horror shelf, I guess. It's not really, but down here is this random crap. It's like a horse and vehicles, and I got some I think it's Playmates Turtles, Bebop Rocksteady, and different motorcycles and stuff. That's not gonna stay like that, but it's just a work in progress. This whole shelf is kind of like a new shelf I just put in, so it's a work in progress. I am a comic collector, in case you're wondering. Yes, I do have a lot of comics in here. Comic collector, I love comics. Over here, we got that HasLab Galactus. Just a bunch of random stuff too. Dragon Man with the plant from Mario. And a Metroid. Over here you got the Halo Spartan collection. The very weird Halo Spartan collection. This is just some of it. The rest is on a shelf. I'll show you in a bit. That is Master Chief's helmet. Back here, these are just helmets and stuff like that. Darth Vader, Black Series. Kylo Ren. That's actually a piggy bank of Han Solo and Carbonite. And down here you got the Mandalorian helmet. Over here, G.I. Joe. That's the HasLab helicopter. You got some vehicles. Back up here. This is DC Multiverse McFarlane. This is kind of like a movie shelf. Snyderverse / movie. Batman movie shelf. Down here you got more McFarlane figures. This is like a Batman villain shelf. Down here you got Batman heroes, Bat family, different Batman suits. Again, DC Multiverse McFarlane for all these. Love that bat signal. Came with the all the movie Batmans. Down here's like a Superman shelf. Doomsday. There's a couple of random villains in there too. This is also a Justice League members. Superman. And you got video games and strategy guides down there. Of course, Avengers posters, video game stuff here. Yes, I am a big video gamer. Here you are with the Marvel Legends. Not Marvel Legends, but well, it's Marvel Legends Iron Man, but that's the playset is not Marvel Legends. The Hall of Armor. Again, this is not I don't think it's in stock anymore, but I bought this from the Disney store. It's simply called Iron Man Hall of Armor or something like that. And if you saw my reels, you would see this. The Iron Man Hall of Armors. Controller holder. Yeah, this is very cool. I love it. I wish they would like have a official Marvel Legends Hall of Armor. That would sell like hotcakes. But yeah, very cool. All right, down here you got Mortal Kombat McFarlane. You got the Halo the Spartan collection back there. Got a couple lines. Fallout. The World of Nintendo. You even got a Metal Gear Solid figure, which they should be making more of. The Halo Spartan collection, which is extremely... Don't even get me started on that one, how ridiculous their distribution is. Jada Toys. Is it Jada Toys or Jazzwares? I think it's Jazzwares. Up here is G.I. Joe. Army cops, and you got regular G.I. Joes back there. Indiana Jones, which I don't know why they stopped randomly. The Adventure series. You got Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Cobra Kai figures. Yeah, I really wish they kept going with the Indiana Jones. I love those figures. Those are really cool. Over here you got NECA Ninja Turtles. This is NECA, basically everything other than Ninja Turtles. NECA horror figures back there. Predator. The Boys, which they just kind of gave up on. Halloween. Batman. You got Aliens. Back to the Future. This is these two are, I forget the line. It's combatants or something like that. And of course, Jazzwares Street Fighter line. NECA RoboCop, Terminator, Jason, Friday the 13th. Very cool stuff. Up top here is the Star Wars Black Series Heroes. Clone Troopers. I know technically they're not heroes, but I didn't have any room for the Dark Side shelf coming up. Jedi. Up top here's the dark side users and evil characters. Bad guys, I guess you could say. Love that Darth Vader. And up top here is that is a huge AT-AT walker in an ATST. ATST is Black Series. AT-AT, I believe. I don't even know what like line that is, but it's from like, oh man, 2012 or something. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's an old one, but I love that. It's a really cool playset. And you got, this is from the Halo, forgot, Halo something collection. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, well, this stuff, this is all the accessories and stuff. You got different like hands, and then there you go, the Sentinels. I'm preparing to do a display there. These are accessories just from different figures. You know, this, of course, we got more stuff on there. And this, of course, if you ever watched any video of mine, you'll know the famous display I have. I always use. I'm trying to build an additional, like maybe over here to add to this, but yeah, that's the famous diorama. I have a whole video about this explaining how I created it, in case you're interested. But yeah, that's the collection, guys. I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a big one. I know it's a long one, but I definitely hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.